Hi, and welcome to another episode of the By Your Side podcast. I'm so glad you're here because it's been a while since we last spoke. And I just wanted to say hi. I am still here. I'm so glad you joined me. If you don't know who I am, I'm Michelle May. I'm the principal of Michelle May Buyers Agents here in Sydney. And I do apologize for the radio silence. We have just been so extraordinarily busy. And I also got hit with this new strand of whatever bird flu COVID it is. And I was literally on my bum on the sofa for 3 weeks when I was supposed to be getting back into it. So, um, apologies, but I'm back. And today, obviously, because I haven't done it yet, I know I'm running extremely late, but I thought you might want to know what I think is to come for the year ahead. 2025, what are we going to do? How are you going to, face the property market this year? So I want to talk to you about my predictions for 2025. I also want to talk to you about one of the biggest things that I think is going to influence buyer decisions in the coming year, but the years ahead also, and something that you really need to be very mindful of when you are purchasing. And thirdly, I wanted to give you a bit of gossip. Why not? I'm not much for gossiping, but this is actually something that happened to me that I thought might give you a little bit of an insight as to what goes on TV shows. So here we go. 2025, what's going to happen? Well, obviously, it's February, and the RBA has just cut interest rates, which is fantastic. I think if you are looking to get yourself a mortgage, every quarter percentage helps get your foot on the property ladder, allows you to borrow a little bit more sensibly, I should say. Make sure that you're not feeling that mortgage like a rope around your neck. But yes, it will help, particularly because I don't know, but every time I go to the supermarket, I seem to be spending so much money for nothing. And by the way, Woolies, I really don't appreciate when my raspberries go off in 2 days. They cost enough as it is. I want to eat every single one of them. I don't know. I don't know how you feel about that, but I'm certainly annoyed. But yes, interest rates going down. So, what have I been seeing in the market? So, I actually want to talk to you about last year because last year the market was, quite turbulent, went up and down. Um, Prices came off the boil a little bit when it came to apartments. Buyer inquiry was down, listings were down, and then towards the second part of the year, things changed, and it was quite a notable change in the air, and particularly when it comes to new client inquiry for us. So I've been a buyer's agent, or I have had my own agency since 2017. So I'm obviously well established. I've been a buyer's agent since 2008. But the second part of 2024, we were getting so many inquiries. It was quite extraordinary. And it was a lot of people saying, hey, I'm getting myself ready to purchase. We're not quite ready yet, but I think we may need help. And what does your help look like? Um, so it was a lot of forward planning, and people were sort of optimistic about the interest rates coming down. We have waited a long time, and more and more voices in the industry were saying yes, they're probably going to come down in 2025. And so there's a lot of people getting themselves ready for it. They were talking to brokers, getting their paperwork organized. And we all know how long that takes, right? It's not exactly something that you can do in an afternoon. Um, and so they were coming to us and say, hey, am I being realistic? This is my budget. Where, how can you help us? And where should I look? And etc. etc. So we had a lot of people already there. When it came to January, we started like with a bang. It was, and still now end of Feb, beginning of March, we've got, a lot of clients we're working with, people on the wait list, and that's quite extraordinary. Also, when we're out, we're seeing when it comes to looking at houses, a fair amount of buyers out there that are ready to go. Apartment land is different. Um, Whilst I have plenty of apartment buyers for the team, there's for apartment buyers, there's more opportunities. When we go to opens, we're quite often only a handful of people, if not alone, going through the open house, and apartment sellers or the agents selling in particularly in the higher density parts of Sydney. So I'm talking Waterloo, Zetland, that they have been saying, look, it's been really dead. Things are being price adjusted. Price guides are coming down. Things are coming up for sale. Auctions are being, the date is being pushed forward and or extended further or completely withdrawn altogether. So a lot more opportunities there because obviously it's simply a supply and demand equation, right? But now that the interest rate cut is well and truly here, I think that um, moving forward for the rest of the year, I think that will bring more pressure on the housing sales. So if you are in the market to buy a house, be prepared for for tough, stiff competition. It is already the case that it's in the last year it was already tough for the A grade properties. I'm not talking all houses. I'm talking about the houses in good streets with good floor plans, with good public school, catchment areas, close to amenities, train stations, all that kind of stuff. I'm not talking about properties on yellow roads, Parramatta Road, Victoria Road, Eastern Distributor, or not those properties. There's always exceptions to the rule, but the A grade type properties, be prepared to compete. There will be stiff competition because it's also what we were hearing from people was, we've waited so long now, we can't wait any longer, we have to now move. Is it because the downsizing, all the kids have left the nest, they've sold the big house they've been renting for a bit, and now they want to make the move to actually secure their final home, or whether the family has just had a third baby, um, or they're moving because of schooling, or whatever the case may be. People, I feel like a lot of buyers have been holding their breath with the interest rates, first of all, but also holding off because they're like, okay, well, we're nervous about committing to a bigger mortgage, but we can't wait any longer. This is like for a long time, it was like the returning back to the natural state of the market. The only reason why people move is because of death, divorce, you know, what was the third one? Loss of job, or whatever the case may be. I can't remember the third one off the top of my head now. But I think now interest rates are down. I think buyers will be back en masse. Again, unit buyers, if you're looking to buy an apartment, I think you're probably going to be okay when it comes to price rises. I don't think it's going to be much of an increase at all. I think I'm still seeing units that uh, are selling for cheaper than they were bought 5-6 years ago. um, and so yeah, I think just be mindful that you're not the only one who's looking to purchase in Sydney. There's still a lot of money in this town. So you got to be competitive. Don't go crazy, but you got to do your due diligence and really understand values and how desirable the property is that you're looking to purchase. Dilly-dallying around for the perfect property or wanting to find a bargain is probably not going to be. I don't think 2025 is going to be the year for that. Um, so having said, that's my prediction for 2025. Do with it what you want. But the one thing I want to draw your attention on, and that's super important, whether you're a house buyer, apartment buyer, first home buyer, I don't care what kind of buyer you are, if you are in the market to purchase a property, can I please urge you to look at the rezoning that's currently going on in Sydney? So the AFR brought out a list recently. And if you drop me an email at hello@buyyourside.com.au, I will send you that list. Now, or just Google it. You might be able to find it online, I'm sure, of course, as well. But email me at hello@buyerside.com.au, and I will send you a copy of that list. 171 suburbs are going to be redistributed in terms of zoning. So if you own a property within 400 or 800 meters within proximity of a transport hub or an amenities hub, so shops, etc., the state government is overruling local council planning laws. So you need to know what you're getting yourself into before purchasing a new property, because this can really affect the value of your property. Because obviously, if you have a nice view, for example, or you have really great privacy, and then all of a sudden Meriton is deciding to build an 18-tower story unit block over the back fence, you may lose all of that. No more nude sunbathing in the backyard, Tony. Okay. Uh, those days are gone. Um, so just be mindful of that. You may lose light, you may lose value in the property because maybe your property is not able to be sold to a developer because of there's restrictions on the land, like the land size or whatever the case may be. So if you're in a zone where you could actually potentially sell to a developer, then that's great down the track. But in the meantime, you will also be living most likely next to construction for many years ahead. And it's not just a construction zone, which is going to be a crater in the ground, because most apartment buildings now have subterranean garaging, right? But it's also going to be issues with getting in and out of your street because, the lollipop ladies are there waiting for you, stop and start, all that kind of stuff. There's going to be dust, there's going to be noise. If you're working from home, is that ideal? I don't know. So I'm not saying, avoid it at all costs. There may be upsides to it. I mean, the upside down the track is, of course, that with apartments you'll get more amenities, etc. But um, think about the potential cost to you for your life, for the foreseeable future, but also potential detrimental cost to the property value growth for the property that you're looking to purchase in, whether that's good or bad. But it's not something you can ignore, is what I'm saying. So get your hands on that list. Also look at the New South Wales planning portal. It's free. You can look at what the zoning is currently, the zoning of your property as well as the zoning around. Talk to your conveyancer about this, but talk to your buyer's agent. A good buyer's agent should be knowledgeable about this kind of stuff. We'll be able to put things into context for you. Important. So do not skip that part of your due diligence. Rezoning. Now, what's the gossip? So the gossip is that I got, and I don't know, maybe I'm the only naive person who, I know the block's not real and I actually can't watch that show anymore because you cannot do a full bathroom in a week because waterproofing takes a week to dry, for example. I do not watch reality TV shows. You will not catch me dead watching maths or anything like that. Not that there's anything wrong with it. I just, people must enjoy what they want, but it's not for me. Of course, those shows, whether it's a renovation show or any, it's always high on the editing. But I thought this one really took the cake. So I got contacted by a TV producer for a show that has been on our screens for many, many years. And I do get contacted by journalists, obviously, on a regular basis, asking me about market thoughts and tips on this and that. And, you'll see me in the paper on the regular. And so, you know, this TV producer I'd never heard of or met or anything. She contacted me and said, "Hey, I work for this show," and I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm familiar with that show. It's been on Australian TV for a long time. I'm sure also on other channels across the world." Um, and she said, "So what we need is a person who's purchased recently, and this is the type of property that we need." yeah, have you got someone like that? And I'm like, well, I'm a buyer's agent. And that's what I do. I buy properties for clients. And she went, yeah, yeah. So what I want is to talk to your buyers, and then yeah, and then we want to use them on the show. And I went, I'm sorry, what? She said, yes, because the show. Are you familiar with the show? I said, yeah, yeah, yeah. You go around and then you show people properties, and then you help them buy one. Is that right? And she said, yeah, yeah. She said, well, what actually happens is that we work with people who've already bought, and then we find 2 or 3 other properties in the area, and then we sort of retrofit it like that. So we show them the 3 properties, including the property they've actually already bought, and then we engineer the show around it. But obviously they gonna stick with the house that they've already bought. And I was like, mind blown. I mean, I don't know. Am I that naive? I couldn't believe it. So I was like, well, I'm sorry, I'm not going to help you with that, because you want access to my clients, and that's the only reason you're contacting me. And this is BS. This is real BS, and it really annoyed me. And she was like, she started laughing sheepishly. Obviously, I didn't tell her that I thought it was BS. I just said, no, I'm sorry, I don't think any of my clients would be interested in this, but I'll ask for you. Well, of course I didn't, but I was she was like, oh, yeah, 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 so yeah, that's why I'm contacting you, because I need to speak with your buyers. I'm like, okay. Wow. So I'm not going to tell you which show it is, but I was a little bit disappointed, because I thought I had seen the show in the past, and I did think that they would help people, you know, help people, like as a buyer's agent to some degree. I know the person presenting it isn't a buyer's agent, so that annoys me to great lengths. And no, it's not location before you ask me. It's a different show. But yeah, that really annoyed me. So again, do not believe what you see on the TV. I don't know. I don't know if you find this amusing or not, but I can laugh about it now. But yeah, I thought, wow, the things that they do in show business, right? Um, anyway, I hope you found this episode entertaining, but also useful. Make sure you check those zones around the property that you're looking to purchase. As always, if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to help you with the answers. Drop me a line at hello@buyerside.com.au. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to the next episode with you. Bye.